It's 2 a.m. You should be asleep, but your mind won't stop. You're replaying a conversation from 3 days ago, worrying about something that may never happen, planning, second guessing, analyzing, and the harder you try to stop, the louder it gets. This is overthinking, and if you're watching this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, here's what's remarkable. Over 5,000 years ago, a battlefield in ancient India, a man was completely paralyzed by his own mind. And the answer he received that day is still the most powerful solution to overthinking ever recorded. The Bhagavad Gita begins with a crisis. Arjuna, one of the greatest warriors who ever lived, stands at the center of the battlefield. On one side, his enemies. On the other, his own family, his teachers, the people he loves. And in that moment, Arjuna collapses. Not from injury, not from fear of death, he collapses from overthinking. He starts running through every possible outcome. If I fight, I destroy my family. If I don't fight, I betray my duty. What will happen to the kingdom? What will people say? What's even the point? His hands tremble, his bow slips, he sits down in his chariot unable to move. Sounds familiar? The details are different, but the experience is identical to what millions of people feel every single day. And this is exactly where Krishna begins to speak. Before giving Arjuna a solution, Krishna does something brilliant. He identifies the real problem, and he doesn't call it overthinking. He calls it Chitta Vritti. Chitta means the mind, Vritti means ripples or fluctuations. Krishna tells Arjuna, your suffering is not coming from the war. It's not coming from the situation. It's coming from the constant uncontrolled movement of your own mind. Think of your mind as a lake. When the water is still, you can see straight to the bottom clearly. But when the water is constantly rippling, you see nothing but distortion. Overthinking is those ripples. And most of us spend our entire lives in a lake that never goes still. Now here's what makes the Gita extraordinary. Krishna doesn't say just relax or think positive. He identifies the root cause. In chapter 6, he tells Arjuna, the restless mind is caused by one thing above everything else: attachment to outcomes. We overthink because we're desperate for a specific result. We want things to go a certain way. And when we can't control that outcome, the mind goes into overdrive. They're trying to think its way to certainty. But certainty never comes. So the thinking never stops. So what is Krishna's actual solution? Three words that sound simple, but will take your breath away when you really understand them. Nishkama Karma, action without desire for results. In chapter 2, verse 47, arguably the most famous verse in the entire Gita, Krishna says, you have the right to perform your actions, but you are not entitled to the fruits of those actions. Now, before you dismiss this as pacifist or defeatist, listen carefully to what this actually means. Krishna is not saying don't have goals. He is not saying don't care about anything. He is saying do your absolute best and release the obsession with controlling what happens next. Because here's the truth. The overthinking mind is always living in the future. It's calculating, predicting, worrying about outcomes that don't exist yet. But your actions only exist right now. The moment you shift your full attention from what will happen to what I'm doing right now, the mental noise drops almost immediately. This is not philosophy, this is practical neuroscience. Modern psychology calls it present moment focus. The Gita called it 5,000 years ago. Arjuna's problem wasn't the war, it was that he was fighting a battle in his mind against scenarios that hadn't happened yet. Krishna's solution: come back to now. Do what is in front of you. Do it fully, do it well, and let go of the rest. So, how do you actually apply this? The Gita gives us 3-step practice. First, notice the thought, don't fight it. When overthinking starts, don't try to force your mind to stop. That creates more ripples. Simply observe. My mind is overthinking right now. That single moment of awareness creates distance between you and the thought. Second, ask one question. What is the one action I can take right now? Not tomorrow, not all the steps. Just the one thing directly in front of you. This pulls you from future anxiety into present action. Third, Release the outcome consciously. After you take that action, say it out loud if you need to. I have done my part. The rest is not mine to carry. This is Nishkama Karma in your daily life. It sounds simple because it is. The Gita never promised complicated, it promised truth. Arjuna stood up, picked up his bow, and fought. Not because he had figured everything out, but because he had stopped trying to. The Bhagavad Gita solution to overthinking isn't to think better, it's to return to this moment, this action, and this breath. The rest will take care of itself. If this changed something for you, share it with someone who needs it tonight.